two different Indranis. Your relationship with Indrani Mukerjea oscillating between, as you write, an unbelievably nasty, manipulative, shouting, you had to close your ears Indrani as a mother who you rebelled, and an Indrani, a mother you want to understand. This is despite serious charges of murder against her. How was your relationship with Indrani Mukerjea while you were growing up? Did you think that there were any sorts of unexplained behavior issues that you also had to cope up with her?
So I truly believe that, my mother, she had a lot of pent up emotions and a lot of things that she probably needed to resolve herself. So I think a lot of that stress was imposed onto me. And, by no means was I a easy kid. I was quite like opinionated and stubborn. So I think that attitude of mine probably resulted in a lot of arguments, and there was quite a lot lost in translation.
What kind of relationship did you have? Because what I read through the book was that there was definitely a vision that she wanted you to be, and you were not okay with that.
Yeah, so I mean, I think writing off my previous answer, it's, how I was as a kid. She did envision a future for me, which was
Yes.
down that kind of checklist life, of having a job, finishing university, and eventually kind of head down a corporate structure. So we really didn't meet eye to eye on many of those things because as a kid, I was quite free spirited and I was very creatively inclined, and eventually we both clashed on our beliefs, so she kind of rid on stability quite a lot, whereas for me I believe that it's not necessary to kind of have stability and precision 24/7 in your life.
Why do you think that you want to understand someone now? Do you think there have been enough years, enough water under the bridge that you've had time to think over it?
I mean, not really. I don't think it's water under the bridge. I think it's a natural human instinct for a daughter to kind of understand her mother, and especially given my situation, it's extenuating circumstances, that me and my mom, we haven't seen each other in 6 years. She has no idea who I am. And essentially, this book was like a really long letter to her. So, of course, I want to understand her.
But what I also figured out from the book, Vidhi, is that you seemed very skeptical of Indrani Mukerjea, who's your biological mother. You decided to even cut off from her. Why did you decide to cut off from Indrani for about 3 years? While throughout the book, you seem very affectionate, and you have words of love, respect, admiration, honesty for Peter Mukerjea, your father. So why was that difference in the relationship that you felt for both?
Yeah, I understand why people, want to compare my relationship with my mom and my dad, but to me, it's not really necessary, because for me, I don't believe in the word like step. It's not in my dictionary. He is my father, and he's raised me since I was a child. He gave me everything above and beyond, and I know him as a man. That's why I can vouch for him. And with my mother, like I said, I feel like I don't know her anymore. And it's, I truly believe in giving her a chance to kind of understand her and for her to understand me. I would like to be there for her as she really doesn't have anyone. And hopefully I can kind of get through her.
But Vidhi, there would be one question on everyone's mind, and this is when your one parent is accused for murder, another of conspiracy. Both are very serious charges of a young girl, a case that dates back to 2012. Why do you think that your version also deserves to be heard? Why do you think that at this point, because many would say that what if this book is perhaps because what if this book has come as a defense for either of your parents or both of your parents while the case is still on?
I mean, that's their opinion. It's not really why I wrote the book, and I think anyone who reads the book will kind of see that message very clearly. It's I've spoken from my heart. I haven't even really spoken about anyone else but my journey.
Yes.
And I understand the protagonist is me, and the main characters are my family, my mom, my dad. But I would truly think it's about the bigger picture. When someone reads this book, I want them to question themselves. I want them to question the society that we live in, our conditioning. So I haven't written this book, for a plea of sympathy or for kind of defending either of my parents. It's exactly what happened. And I'm not trying to give a story to someone. I'm trying to take them on a journey with me.